Hello students, welcome to Saha Tutorials online classes. This is the first video of English literature. After these 2 months of lockdown and nearly 1 month of online classes, I have finally decided to make a video for the English literature. English is very close to my heart. It has always been such. Though my identity is a science teacher and I teach science and maths, but still, as the time passed and I started giving tuitions in English, I felt that English is something very close to our hearts. I learnt a lot and really cherished reading and learning the English literature. Today's video is about the first chapter of Class 11 Higher Secondary Syllabus, Up in Westminster Bridge. This poem is written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, you must be knowing, is a great English poet, and his poems were world famous and known to all. I must say, before I start, that previously what we did in class 9 and class 10 English has changed quite a bit in the HS curriculum. The type of questions has changed. There is no seen unseen type of questions here, and also more descriptive type of questions has been asked in this type of subject. So you have to learn, you have to understand each and everything of the subject content of every chapter in English. Here I must say that English, though is easy to many, it has a lot of depth. And in class 11, as we will find, that the poems are very small. There are few lines in it, but each and every line has a ocean depth. There are numerous meanings, and as you go through all these things, you will cherish it. You will love it to learn English, to read English more than any other subject. I promise you. So the first poem in class 11 is Up on Westminster Bridge. Now this poem is all about the London city. As we belong to our city, Kolkata, and there is an iconic bridge, Howrah Bridge, very similar. In London, there is Westminster Bridge. Kolkata is very much similar like London. It's a hustle and bustle city. It's too congested, too crowded, and the city lives all through the day, hustling and bustling from one path to the other. So, the poet is used to such experience, such appearance of the city all throughout his life. There is nothing so extraordinary in this type of appearance. But one day, in the early morning hours, as he was crossing the Westminster Bridge and looked up to his own city, he was wonderstruck. He was surprised. Why? Because the city has a new look. The city has worn a new garment. How? Because there is no pollution, there is no action going on, there is no streets crowded, there is no cars on the road, there is no ships on the river, there is no moving object. All is standing still in front of the poet. And the early sunshine, clear and bright, just dazzled the scene. The poet stood over there. Only awestruck by the gigantic scene in front of him. And thereby he started writing this poem. In his journey, he was accompanied by his sister Dorothy, who was similarly taken aback by the scene. The poet writes in the very first line, "Earth has not anything to show more fear." This line is itself telling the mental emotions of the poet going through at that time. He is saying the earth has nothing to show more fear, that means more beautiful than this scene in front of him. This line itself says that the poet was overjoyed by this lovely scene. He also says, "Dull would he be of soul who could pass by." Means anyone who passes by without stopping and actually having this beauty, if anyone passes by, his soul must be dull. He must be a bore. But the poet is not so. And that's why he stood there and loved every moment of that early sunshine. A sight so touching in its majesty, this city now doth like a garment wear. What does the poet mean to say? Now he says that the city has worn a new garment, as like when we wear a new garment, we look prettier. A new dress is always beautiful. And so the city was, because the city was also wearing a new dress. What is the new dress? That bright sunshine. That bright sunshine on the early morning hours is the new dress. And it is majestic. Majestic means it's like royal, it's like the kings. The kings wear very rich dresses. So the city London is also wearing such majestic dress, and the poet was loving every bit of it. The beauty of the morning, silent and bare. The characteristics of the beauty is given. The beauty of the morning is silent. Means throughout the day in London, what happens? There is a lot of sounds and noises. So there is no peace of mind. But now, today, it is absolutely peaceful. So it is adding a charm to this beauty. Bare. Bare means open. The openness of this beauty. There is no covering. It's totally open to the sky. And we are all looking at the vast drawing of the scenario. Ships, towers, doors, theatres and temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky. So whatever I am looking at, I am looking at the ships, I am looking at the theatres, I am looking at the temples, everything is lying still, open, clear, clean, and they all lie motionless, because at that early morning time, no activity has yet started. So everything is like sleeping. They are all sleeping silent. They are all looking like bare, open. All bright and glittering in the smokeless air. And that is the actual beauty. The beauty of the brightness, the beauty of the glitter in the sun, smokeless air. Smokeless means there is no pollution. And these are the real characteristics which you must know while writing the answer. The most common question is describe the city of London as told by the poet. And in the answer, you have to write all these points as characteristics of the beauty when you write the content. In the last para, never did sun more beautifully steep. Again the para starts with an comparison which the poet again says because he is overwhelmed by the beauty. He says the sun must not have shone like this before today. Is it true? No. The sun shines exactly the same way every day. But today, what the poet sees actually added it. And that is why the poet is saying, never did sun beautifully step like this. In his first splendor, valley, rock or hill, never felt, never I saw a calm so deep. So in his first splendor means the first time when the sun rays fall on earth, over the rock, over the hill, wherever. The poet never felt such peace. The poet never felt such calmness inside his mind. And that is why he wrote this poem. Because that calmness, that peacefulness actually moved his heart and he was overjoyed. Finally he says, the river glided at his own sweet will. Below the Westminster Bridge there is the river Thames, and the river Thames is flowing at its own will as there is no ships, there is no movement across the river. So the river water can move along its own will, there is no obstruction on it. And the final two lines, dear God, the very houses seem asleep and all the mighty heart is lying still. He finally prays to the God, the Almighty, that please, oh God, this scene is absolute heaven. This scene is absolute a blessing to me. And it seems to me like that the entire city is like a giant who is sleeping still. Mighty heart giant. Because London is a very big city. And London is like a big heart who accepts everything. And the poet is also happy about it. Actually, in this poem, what we get as a reader is a beautiful description of a city, the natural landscape, all clear, all clean, all bright. These things you have to take note. And finally, for our Hindi medium students, इस कविता में वो सारे चीज कवि ने डाला जो वो खड़े खड़े उस समय लंदन शहर को देखकर उनको महसूस हुआ. वो एक ऐसा चीज देखे जो उससे पहले उन्होंने अपने शहर को कभी देखा ही नहीं था. क्योंकि हम लोग रोज अपने शहर को देखते हैं, उसमें कोई नयापन नहीं रहता है. लेकिन उस समय, उस वक्त भोर का टाइम और वो लंदन का दृश्य एकदम अनोखा था. और वो अनोखापन कवि ने बाखूबी बहुत अच्छे शब्दों से इस कविता में बताया. आप लोग इन लाइंस को ध्यान से पढ़िएगा. इन लाइंस में जो वर्ड्स हैं उनका माने समझने का कोशिश करिएगा. क्योंकि मैंने पहले ही स्टार्टिंग वीडियो में बताया आपको कि कविता में क्वेश्चंस बहुत डेप्थ से पूछे जाते हैं और छोटे छोटे कविता होते हैं, लेकिन उसके अर्थ बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं. तो इस तरीके से इस कविता में कवि ने इस सुंदर दृश्य का वर्णन किया और लंदन शहर का एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत तस्वीर आपके सामने प्रस्तुत की. Now this is the end of the poem and I would really want to make you feel happy about it, that this poem is the starting of a new journey in the higher secondary syllabus. More and more videos will come regarding the other chapters in this subject, and I hope you have liked this video, you have understood this video. And my motivation is your love. And how could you love me? You could love me just by liking the video, just by sharing with your friends and asking them to watch more and more about it. One more advice to you. Just go through the video. वीडियो को बार बार देखिए, माने समझिए, किताब सामने रखिए. मैं भी किताब सामने करके ही मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूँ. लाइंस को पढ़िए, मेरे बातों को सुनिए, समझिए, और जहां भी कोई परेशानी होगा कमेंट सेक्शन में जाके मुझे क्वेश्चन करिए, मैं जरूर उसका जवाब दूंगा. मेरे वीडियो को लाइक करिएगा अगर आपको पसंद आया हो, और अगर सब्सक्राइब नहीं किए होंगे तो जरूर सब्सक्राइब करिएगा. मेरा व्हाट्सएप नंबर भी दिया हुआ है, तो अगर आपको कोई भी चीज का परेशानी हो, कोई भी चीज का डाउट हो तो जरूर क्लियर करिएगा. आपका रिस्पॉन्स मेरे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो उम्मीद है कि आप ज़रूर मेरे इस प्रश्न का, मेरे इस उम्मीद को पूरा करिएगा। थैंक यू फॉर नाउ एंड बाय बाय, हैव ए गुड